Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa,
And I'm still sharing.
and we want to thank each and every one of you all for joining us again for another episode of our conversations. We so appreciate each time you tune in, each time you all send us a comment, each time you push that like button. We just love you. We appreciate you.
Or share.
Yeah, and when you
Y'all been
our videos.
sharing.
Yes. Keep it going. So you have any announcements?
Just one, something that we usually repeat. We try to do it every show, but just to remind you that this is for entertainment purposes only. We are not professionals. She's not a PhD, and I'm an EED, and none of that. We're just two black lesbians who found each other, and we like to share our experiences with you.
Absolutely.
And also, Pride is coming. But for right now, it's all about Juneteenth. Okay, so
Yeah, so
hey
we're
now.
celebrating Juneteenth this week, 19th to be exact, although I'm working on the 17th. So if you're in Oceanside, come on out. They're having a Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah.
I think from 10 to 5 p.m. I'll only be there from 9 till noon. So, but I would love to see
Me too.
you.
If she's there, I'm there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sharon's gonna come with me.
Just saying.
And we're getting excited about our party for Pride. So if you haven't yet notified us that you're coming, please do so. It's filling up. So we want to make sure we have room for at least our subscribers. So
Yeah,
let
exactly.
us know.
Exactly.
Let us know ASAP.
Yeah.
So if there's no more shout outs.
You haven't done your shout outs yet.
I mean, no more announcements.
Announcements.
It's shout out.
Right. Look, don't confuse the old girl.
Yeah, so no more announcements. Now it's shout out time. So I definitely gotta shout this person out. So I just joined this group on Facebook and found out one of our, several of our subscribers was in the group, and so they hit me up. And Deidre H said, make sure you shout me out your next video. So this is your shout out, Deidre. Thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. Also, Stacy W. And thank you for recognizing us. We appreciate you. And we hope to see some comments from you soon.
Right. Because I'm getting back to you, and not just it's not just the comments. The fact that you guys take the time, you tune in, you're thinking about what we're talking about. And you're relating it to yourself or other people you've seen, and you write down something to us, and we get back to you.
Absolutely.
We didn't say it's all easy, but it's all real.
Right.
All right. So thank you for doing what you do.
Absolutely. Okay? And last but not least, the shout out goes to Kimberly MCDMP.
Whoa.
Thank you. I know you said you tune into us sometimes, but hopefully you'll be watching this so you can hear your shout out. All right.
Whew.
So
you tired?
Yes, and I just came from a run, if y'all can believe that. I didn't even change my shirt yet.
Oh, wait. Hey, they don't need to know all that. They don't need to know all that.
But so today we're going to be talking about ultimatums, and it's just a lot been going on with that word ultimatums. As a matter of fact, we got the idea from the show Ultimatums Queer Love, if you all have seen that. But a lot of people on Facebook have been talking about it in the different groups, so we thought we'd talk about ultimatums today.
Right, because quite frankly, it is real in a lot of relationships, and Rosa just felt, I don't know, she seemed really like she was really a little more plugged into it than I was. But as
She's talking about the show,
about not just the show, but just the idea. She was talking about the show. I was thinking about just the idea, the concept of ultimatums, and I'm just thinking, as I play back some of my sound bites. I've thrown out a couple of ultimatums, and for the good, the bad, the ugly, but all you people in lesbian land, you got to give a sister a break. You know how it goes down sometimes. So before we jump into it, let's define it. What is an ultimatum? It's usually it's a final warning. It's a final warning that one person gives to another, and attached to it is I don't want to say a threat. Attached to it is a statement of what will happen if you don't do it. It's like, for example, when your boss say you be late one more time, I'm going to fire you. You know what I mean? That's an ultimatum. If you don't straighten up your act, here's the consequence for that behavior.
Right.
And I would say, you know, not to oversimplify it, but I think we do that in our relationships sometimes.
Yes, we
and
absolutely do.
but ultimatums doesn't have to. It seems like in the past it's gotten some bad press. Like, I gave her an ultimatum and da 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 da. It doesn't have to be negative, but oftentimes it is. And like I said, it comes across like a final warning. I'm up to my hairline with your bad behavior and bullshit. If you don't stop it, I'm going to leave. That's an ultimatum. Now, does it always have to be negative? No, it doesn't. But the thing is, if you're just giving someone an ultimatum as to just to set a boundary in your relationship or how you connect with this person, you know, well, hey, this is where my pinch is with you, and if you don't stop it, you know, we're going to have to explore some other ways. You know, that's a soft ultimatum. Right. But when you come up with that, you know, this is the last time you're going to drive my car because last 15 times you did it, you brought it back with no gas. I'm not letting you drive the car anymore. Ultimatum.
That doesn't sound like ultimatum.
No. Yes, no. Well, it is a threat. The threat comes with your response and your response and your behavior to the fact that they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. It's no more when you tell the kids like, hey, you know what I mean? If you don't do your homework by 6 o'clock, I'm going to take your iPad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? So is that a threat?
Is that
a threat?
I think the examples you're giving are sort of more like consequences.
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
it is
this is going to happen if that happens. So that's
right. It is absolutely. But you're letting them know what the consequence is going to be. You bounce one more check, we're going to cut off your checking account. Okay, so you know, letting you know already. Here's your behavior. I want you to recognize, and this is going to happen if you don't do it. It's simple as that. So let's go on. So go on. Over to you.
Put the show in perspective, because I'll be referencing the show from time to time. So if you all have not seen it, no, this is not a plug for the show. I could care less if you all see it or not. But I think it's either on Hulu or Netflix, one of those. It's called Ultimatum Queer Love. They have 5 couples, and of each of the 5 couples, one person had given the other one an ultimatum to marry them, right, or they were leaving.
Right.
So that's what the show is. It's like one of the reality.
Our relationship is over. Like, you know what I mean? And what what I like about the way you're presenting it, just let them know, like out of these 5 lesbian couples, they have been together for either between 1.5 years to 4 years. Right. And we know in lesbian terms, that's like 10 to 20 years, because, you know, we accelerate everything.
Absolutely.
So one person is telling the partner, I love you, we've been together, we've been hooked up and booked up, but if you do not marry me, it's over.
Right.
That's the premise of the show.
So what I find attractive about the show is that, you know, this is real people in real life, you know, but some stuff is script, I guess. But at the same time, I could recognize a lot of what happens in our relationships in these couples, you know, and I was able to identify who I most kind of connect with in the show as well. So I'm gonna let you all watch it. If you want to have a conversation about the show, we will, but today we'll just be talking about the ultimatum part of it.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us the ultimatum that you gave?
What I gave an ultimatum.
You said you've been there before. You've given ultimatums.
I have, but before we get to that, I want to stay on the show a little bit more.
Why do you want to stay on the show?
No, I do. I mean, this is just where you know, we don't rehearse, you know. So this is where I'm going with this afternoon, because I felt a lot. I felt some kind of way in the last couple of days as we were chatting about it, and as I said before, you know, giving somebody an ultimatum without being so dramatic about it, it could just be for, like, I just want you to I want you to recognize a behavior that gives me a pinch, and would you please work on it, sweetie?
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. It ain't got to be, and I'm telling you, it's the 17th, it ain't done, we over. What I do like about the show, and as you say, we're not plugging the show, but I do appreciate the fact that they really pretty much very diverse. There's a black lesbian on the show. There's some Asian women on the show. One woman is Jewish, so they got a pretty
Hispanic.
nice Hispanic. I think they did a pretty good job of mixing it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's no accident, because I do like that, because nothing personal, but I'm not going to look at 10 white women. You know what I mean, and what they do. Because one is, I'm just not going to do it.
If the show's interested, I'm going to look at it.
Yeah.
But another reason why I like the show is that it did take place here in San Diego. So I was able to see a lot of a lot of the different locations.
Yeah. That's the Coronado Bridge.
Yeah, Broads and, what is that? The Barrels and Broads, they was there too.
Yeah.
So there was some good things. What I didn't like about the show is the fact that the couples had to go live with someone else for 3 weeks. So after the third week, then they had to decide if they are still in love with their partners or with somebody else. And that's the thing in lesbian land. It's like, you put all your eggs in this basket. Like, you are so into this person. Like, oh my gosh, I love her. Yeah. I just can't, breathe without her. And they let you go for 3 weeks and you with another woman, and y'all have to pretend like y'all married for 3 weeks, and you really do that? Like, how much love did you have for your partner when now you loving on somebody else, and it's only been like 3 weeks?
Right.
So I didn't like.
Wait. You say loving on them, and you can say that that's good. That's what you got out of it. But my thing is, and the reality, based on the reality that I live in, I just cannot imagine me and my partner, my sweetheart, the person I'm digging on, or more or less my wife. I can't imagine us being one of the couples. Let me say, had we not been married, but I can't imagine us being one of the couples. And Rosa says, "I love you very much, but give me 3 weeks, because I'm going to check out this babe over here from Panama." Oh, hell no. That is not how it goes. And, hold on, one more. The other thing, sometimes I think that they play pretty loose with certain cultural norms. I don't see 2, 4, 6, I don't see 5 couples of black women being okay with that, being contestants on the show. That's where I'm at. I could be
okay with that, because my thing is, if it was us and we were on the show, I would assume and trust you enough that even if you're with this person for 3 weeks, you can play married to them, but you ain't doing the married stuff. Because some of them was doing the married stuff.
Right.
So, so it's like, I would trust you enough to be able to come back. Because sometimes and it happened in on the show. One of the cases, with what's the girl name?
It wasn't Lexi? Was it Lexi?
No, it was I don't know what's
which
the
one
name of it. But
okay.
It happened where the girl was kind of understood that what she had was something great than what she, was out there looking for. And sometimes you have to let
go
that
away
person
to
lead
see,
to know what they say. You let it go and come back to you or something like that. So, I think that was a good thing in some of the instances, but other instances it was just like, why are you sleeping with somebody you just met in 3 weeks?
Right, because you want to know. You want to know if it's going to be better.
Right.
Oh, not just different, but better. Right? Because, like I said, for you to even be a contestant on the show.
Oh, it was Xander and Vanessa.
Oh, okay. Okay. When y'all look at the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to be in a certain frame of mind to even be okay with the idea of going on a show like that. You see what I'm saying? Because let's say, guess who's not on the show? Sharyn and Rosa will not be on the show. Now, world can change.
They might do an older couple show. We gonna be on there. Well, you gonna be on there.
If they do older, younger thing, like, okay, we can do that.
I'm not that young in that sense. Well, I'm just younger than you. So it's not.
Well, who is it? Speaking of which is a wonderful segue, but make sure I bring it back. I'd have to say on a real tip, It was my birthday weekend, and my wife did a wonderful job of just showing me how much I'm loved, adored, and appreciated. And all I asked was to, keep it low key, just me and you, and do some of the things that I would like to do, and we did. And the gifts, it's not even about the gifts, but they were so wonderful. And my friends who know that I am an avid reader gave me books because that's what I really like.
Yeah, I think you got like 5 books, right?
Yeah, I got 5 books. Maybe, yeah, and there's a couple of packages over there. I think there's more books, but it's okay. But what I'm saying is I had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. And as you just said, how I'm going to attach this to, you said, if they do older and younger, that's me talking. I am now 68, and how blessed am I, right? So I'm feeling real good. Okay, so back to you in the studio. Go ahead.
I was saying that it's not going to, if they do an older couple show, then we might go on there. But anyway.
But some older couples are, both partners are older, like
I'm older in Hollywood sense. I'm old.
Well, okay, let's not even talk Hollywood. Let's just talk lesbian land.
But I'm just saying, they would consider me old. But anyway, regarding the ultimatum, staying on topic about the ultimatum, I know some of you all out there have probably issued some. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if I have, and I believe I have, but I can't think of any major ones.
Do I need to remind you?
I know I dated one woman one time, and I did tell her, if she's doing drugs or drinking and all of that I was leaving.
Right.
But
it's going to be our last date.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, I don't have an example. I know I've given you an ultimatum, haven't I? I know one time I was fed up to my hairline with Sharyn and my children's issues. So I was like, look, if we can't work this out, then I'm just going to have to jet. That's just what it was going to be.
You giving ultimatums like you can't remember them. You know what I mean? Have I given you ultimatums?
I'm
sure. I asked as I can remember at least 3 or 5 times because I'm the dramatic one.
Positive, you did.
Well, it can't be that serious if you can't remember them.
Oh, I could probably remember a few. I want to hear your ultimatums that you gave me.
Oh, I whine about the cars being clean. I do that. I'll say something really
dramatic. That's not
dramatic.
an ultimatum.
Yeah, yes, I do. But it's still an ultimatum. As I said, if I get in here and there's still some trash, if there's some trash in the car, I said, I'm taking the keys.
And she hasn't taken the keys yet. So that's not an ultimatum. Because I've been driving one of Sharyn's cars for the past 2 months because my car is not here. So that is not an ultimatum. Like, I got to drive it, even if it's trash in it or not. So that's not an ultimatum. So you got to come up with something better than that.
Yeah, but
you did talk to me about some trash in the car. It wasn't trash. It was just stuff that I had.
Items from Rosa. You know what I mean? I just feel like
some of them was her items.
Wait a minute. It treated like a rental. You know what I mean? Like, you should never know what the other person left in the car.
Well, first of all, half of the stuff she was grabbing was from the passenger side, which means she's on that. Which means if they heard nasty napkins, that's what she was grabbing, and they're hers. Okay. Then you gonna come put it on me.
Okay.
Like, I don't even go on the passenger side.
You obviously are experiencing loss of memory at a young age, but okay. All right, on a serious tip and getting deeper as far as some deep tissue items in our relationship, do you think I've given you ultimatums?
Real ones?
Yeah, real ones, all jokes aside.
I can't remember any.
Okay, they must not be that serious then.
No, they weren't. Because
your
ultimatums are not serious.
I may have meant it seriously, but it was not taken seriously.
Okay, tell me one ultimatum that you can remember that you gave me. And not no trash in the back of the car. Because that's not an ultimatum.
Oh, other stuff. Well, I don't want to go that deep and personal, but I know I've given you some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know I've given you some, but I don't think you receive it as an ultimatum. I think you receive it as Sharyn just blah, 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 because
as they say, I'm hearing this and I need to hear this.
So, my mistake, I married an Aries and I can't fight that fire. I'm not fireproof. I can't deal with it. So what I've done is my ultimatums don't sound like ultimatums anymore. You're wearing me down. So it's just like I say, it is what it is. I love Rosa. I got to take the whole package.
Yeah, ultimatums can be deep though.
Yeah, they can be deep and they can
and they cut. So it just depends on the ultimatum. But if you make an ultimatum, y'all need to keep them.
Well,
because that's the problem.
Well, okay. Well, I'll say this, and I did give you one on the serious tip. I gave you one, and we were talking about some finances. It was money connected, and I was.
You
not
said don't use your credit card again. No, what'd you say? Something about the credit card.
It was one of
something. No, I remember.
Rosa, we didn't gotta go that deep.
Okay, but they still need to know.
Okay, but it was.
I used her credit card for something I had, and she was like, "You can at least let me know if you use it again." No, she was like, "Don't use it again, or I'm gonna turn it off," or something. Like, I'm like, really?
Did she use it again?
She ain't turned it off.
Did you use it?
I don't remember if I did or I didn't, but. I ain't
with me, it was the principle because we have certain deals that we make with each other and certain levels of understanding. And all I'm just saying, just let me know because I'm thinking, the bill should be like $200 at best, and the bill is $500 or $600. I just want to know who broke into the house. We did not catch them. Went into the safe, took out my second best card, ran around the world and spent $500. And I'm saying it can't be my boo because I told boo don't use that card. And so it must have happened more than once or twice. And then I'm like, I am not playing with you. You use it again, we'll just turn that one off. We'll just turn it off. Now, didn't I? And I was serious. I laugh and
you were serious when you said that you ain't turned it off, and I know I used it again.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Must have been a month when she was behaving herself.
But I told you too.
You did. So. Well, there you go. It was, as much as we talk about communication, that was the pinch. It was not the money.
Right.
It was just the principle of the fact that just let me know. I should never be the last one to know, what was charged on one of my cards. Especially under the new program of saving means not spending, or not spending so much. Yes.
Or not spending Sharon's money.
Right. So I had to be clear. So I had to come back and adjust the ultimatum. We're all, everybody's grown, but we have certain goals. We say we do. We have certain goals. And then I'm thinking, when I say, you go up that hill, when I say heave, I'm expecting you to say, ho.
Really?
Yeah. So back to the show.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
That's not a clear ultimatum either. I want y'all to be serious with y'all ultimatums.
I was serious when I said no. I was serious when I said it.
You were serious. I understand that, but you have to follow through when you say stuff. So ultimatum is, as you defined earlier, it's like a threat. So if you threaten something, then if you don't do it, then that person is not going to see it as an ultimatum.
If you say threat, well, it's just a statement of consequences to follow. Right. If you break custody one more time, we are going to arrest you. You know what I mean? And there you are messing up on your probation, and they came to arrest you. So meaning, here's the consequence if you don't stop the action that I'm asking you to stop. Okay? Right. As simple as that.
And I can understand that. I'm just saying, when you're making ultimatums, because I know some of y'all out there have made ultimatums, did you keep them? That's number one. If you haven't, why? And when you set ultimatums, y'all gotta be serious with it. With this show, that's why they're coming on the show, because they assume that if the person don't propose to them by the end of the month or something that they're together, then they gotta go their separate ways. And spoiler alert, but at the end of the show, it's only like one couple that's still together. Right.
So let's say you have this wonderful conversation, or this conversation that contains an ultimatum. It's March, and you're however long you've been together, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. So it's March, and you tell your sweetie, like, look, I'm loving you. You seem to be loving me too, but I got marriage on my mind. If we are not married by Thanksgiving, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like I said, it ain't got to be nothing nasty and dramatic or negative, but you got to have a behavior saying, if this continues to happen, well, then this is going to be my response.
And be ready to go.
Right.
If
Had
it
the bag
doesn't
that I'm
happen,
not
yeah.
playing with you.
Yeah.
You know, and I do love you, and I feel your love for me. But I'm
But I
telling
think
you,
most of the times we're afraid as women and as women in lesbian land too, we're afraid to leave our partner because you know how hard it is. Like we find it hard to find that person that connects with you, right? So it's like you love this person, you feel like this person is your soulmate, because if you didn't, you wouldn't want to marry them, right? So you're leaving your soulmate because they won't say I do, or you know what I'm saying, or I know with the show, Yoli and Mal said that she didn't want to propose to Yoli because she felt like she wasn't in a place to do that. She wanted to, you know, have money to put down on a home when they got engaged. She wanted money to be able to take care of Yoli. So I get that. I get that, you know what I'm saying? Some people want to be set up, and that may be what the issue is. So instead of giving them that ultimatum right away, have that conversation to see why aren't they ready to move forward. You know, you've been together for a year and a half or more, and it's like, wait, how long is it going to take you to find out if I'm the one? You know, when I met Sharyn, I never even thought of marrying a woman. I was just like, I knew I liked women. I knew I was going to be with women. I just never thought of the marriage part. And when we talked about it, it was like, okay. So with saying that, some people are probably even thinking like, I just don't want to get married, but I still love you, and I want to, live like we're married, and you know,
it wasn't on my list. It was. I never thought about it. Yeah. You're right. That's true too.
So some people just don't see it, but you won't know until you have that conversation. And if that person, if you've had the conversation and the person said, you know, something along those lines or something, whatever they gave you, you got to be willing to accept that. You know, and that's just it. If you don't accept it, then you gotta let them know, look, that's lame, I'm out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and what I do appreciate about the show, or just the idea, not even just the show itself, but just the idea of people knowing what you want. And communicating it, because sometimes, you know what they say, a shut mouth never gets fed, but sometimes be like, I never knew you thought that way. That kind of thing. Just like I didn't know you thought that way. And the reverse of it is I had no idea that the idea of marriage, or more or less marriage to me, was a ridiculous thought to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like I don't love you. I enjoy the trips and the, you know, and the treats and the you know, and all the good stuff that's going on in a relationship, but marriage never crossed my mind. If you're dealing with that person, you need to know that you're dealing with that person. Hey boo, I'm not thinking about marrying anyone. You know, but if I were to marry somebody, it would be you, but I ain't marrying nobody. And you don't realize that that's the person that you're dating. And here it is, you know, we as women like, well, okay, well, like, you know, I'm now a perfect size 8 and I can get a dress. And then one on the show, one of the women, I think it's Lexi, her mother is a wedding planner and her father is a jeweler. And she's just like, we can make it happen. We can make it if you want to. If you're really serious.
True.
Look, I know people. I know people.
But speaking of the communications part of it, that was one of the things in the show, Ultimatum Queer Love. Sam and Ozzy, who were a couple when they came in, but when they split up, Sam was the type of passive kind of partner who just allowed Aussie to do whatever she wanted to do, or you know, or go with the flow, I should say. But she realized that she had a voice when she got with the next person,
right?
And so when she came back to the relationship, she was like, she wasn't taking it. So it was like, now she understands why Aussie didn't want to get married. Like, her family doesn't even know she's gay. She's in a culture where it's just not common. She's she's one of the Asian couples on there, right? The Asian women. So she's just like, you know, it's a lot of other things that play the part, you know, as to why she didn't get married, doesn't want to get married. But Sam is like, look, I don't really care, blah, 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 blah. Like, she's giving it to her the way she probably always wanted to let her know, like, I'm not going with the flow now. You either marry me or it's still a no-go.
Right.
So with that, giving ultimatums, that could, strengthen the communications in the relationship, or it may not, might break it up. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, it's all good. So
I just personally don't necessarily like ultimatums.
Most people don't.
Let's just talk what we need to talk about, and I'm not gonna say if you do this, then I'm doing this.
Well,
I'm telling you what I want,
but it gets a bad game.
Doing that.
As a norm, though, it does get a bad name to it. But like I said, supposedly, recent practices in psychology says that it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but if you are setting if you're setting up a ultimatum to change a behavior in your partner for the better, then like no harm intended, but let's stop going here because every time you go there you get drunk and piss in the fish tank. Well, the ultimatum is don't go to the restaurant anymore, or stop pissing in the fish tank, or why don't you try to get sober? Right. And if you don't get sober, I will leave you.
Right.
Yeah. So like I said, you're trying to correct the behavior, or you know what I mean? And most people ain't gonna change your behavior if they don't think they got a problem with it. So that's another show. So what I do want to say, so we don't beat this to death, but take the time out your schedule to check out the show. And
it's a series.
It's a series. But my question to all of you out there in lesbian land and far beyond is, has anyone ever given you an ultimatum? What was it, and did you do it? How did you respond to it? And the flip side is, have you given a woman an ultimatum? What was it, and how did she respond to it? Whew.
If Sharyn gives me an ultimatum, this show will be canceled immediately because I'm out. That's an ultimatum. You give me an ultimatum, I'm out. That's an ultimatum.
It doesn't matter what the ultimatum is?
Nope.
Well, see, that's that Aries stuff. What are you talking about? I give you an ultimatum, you out. That doesn't even make sense to me.
I mean, if you're trying to give me an ultimatum, then we might as well not even be together. Like, I'm not trying to do, like, the ultimatums. You do this, and I'm doing that. Like, that's tick for tack.
You know what?
That's tick for tack for me. I don't do tick for tack.
I think it happens more than people realize. They just don't call it out, and they don't label it. You know what I mean? Because what you talking to me like, I'm not trying to have this mother-daughter relationship with you, or you ain't the boss of me, or everybody's grown, as you say. Everybody's grown. All of that comes back into play because that's pushback. That is pushback. I'm not saying that you should give one to a person or you shouldn't. I'm just saying, as you just declared, if I were to give you one, it's over. I don't believe that. I don't even believe that.
Ultimatums to me just seem, like I was saying, tick for tack. And I just don't like that whole back and forth. It's like, don't threaten to do something. If you get ready to tell me, don't do this or I'm leaving, then just leave. Because it's almost like you want me to behave the way you want me to behave. And I'm me. So I can't behave the way you would necessarily see a situation. Like, and that's the beauty of being able to see both sides, because everybody's not going to behave. I know you ain't going there.
Wait a minute.
Everybody's not going to behave the way you want them to behave. Like, if Sharyn's walking, on the cracks of the sidewalks and I don't want her to, I can't be like, you don't need to be walking on the, like, let her walk on the cracks if she want to walk on the cracks. It's like, it is what it is. So to me, ultimatums is like that tick for tack. That's like elementary stuff. I don't know. And what you talking about with both sides?
Y'all see what I'm dealing with, right? You just don't like the idea of someone directing your behavior. You come at me sometime, pow pow. And I tell you, if you got me, you got me. You say, hey babe, you might want to look at listen to what you just said, roll it back, and I'm like, okay, roll back that footage. You know what I mean? Like, did you mean what you just said, or this is what we ask each other. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? And even though, and then this is what I always say to Rosa, it's not just what you said, it's the way you said it. You know what I mean? Because words can hurt. They really hurt. So I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds to either take it back or for you to play the tape back. Because I know you have no control over how I respond to it, but I want to make sure, are you intentionally trying to make me go up the tree today and it's not even 9 a.m.? Do you want me up the tree? And she did like, well, I said it. Because like I said, I'm dealing with an Aries here. They're like, hey, baby, the fire is going.
It's how you say it. I get that. And I know I'm not the best person to sugarcoat anything. I say it the way it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know another way to say it. And she's like, that's what I said. That's what I meant.
I'm just asking you to learn something else in a different way.
I'm trying to refocus.
As y'all can hear, that we have some problems. We know we've got a little situation we need to take care of. We're going to try to take care of it by next week. So I'm going to tell you next week the ultimatum that I'm giving her as soon as we stop taping. So.
Now, if I put something up that we canceled immediately, y'all know.
No. When I send this out and it's just me talking, you know that someone got the ultimatum.
I'm going to be like, peace.
Peace out, right?
Yeah.
I got you. No. But look, thank you for your honesty. And this has nothing to do with anything else, but that's a good color for you. You look great.
See too much.
Yeah. Yes, I am. But listen, I hope you guys were okay with all of this, because we just we're giving it to you like somebody put it on our plate. And as you can see, we got wrinkles too. We are, we're real. It's live. It's authentic. Yes. And some days, pow pow. Some days she gets me. So until next time, we're wishing all of you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And happy Juneteenth, and get out and celebrate, because I know Galveston, Texas is going to be on fire.
Yeah.
And we're going to get her a new Juneteenth shirt.
Oh, what?
She always wearing that.
Oh, I do. I watch the clothes. No, that's because Rosa doesn't buy me any more clothes. So you go with what you got. I'm down there with. Look. I'm down at the river with the washboard. I'm old school.
I bought her a Janet Jackson T-shirt. I went to the concert last night and bought her a T-shirt.
Without me,
she didn't want to go.
Enough. We'll see y'all next week. Okay. Take care.
Love you.